but I can't stress enough that we are here to provide a safe and trusted environment. Part of what the relationship is between these teams is that they're showing you what keeps them up at night, right? And so there's a sphere of confidentiality around these teams and what they're dealing with. So if you're at a social or whatever, it's great to talk about how awesome they are, but keep in mind that there are a lot of conversations that we don't want public. We don't ask mentors to sign an NDA, but this is part of how we govern ourselves in this mentor program, right? The prestige of that program is really important because we are trusting that everyone is following those principles, okay? So again, we don't ask them to sign an NDA, and we won't. Investors don't sign NDAs unless they're going through a due diligence process with you. That means they're very serious about acquiring, and you shouldn't be sharing anything that you don't feel comfortable in a public domain sharing. Remember that. Come talk to me if there's a question about that, okay? Mentors know that. Now they know that. They do know that, and they understand that process. Tanner, did you have a question? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your slide says they do sign an NDA. I thought we did too.
I thought we did.
Do we have one? Do we? Is it inside the? Is it inside the guiding principles?
Inside the packet.
We signed it last year.
I think when we applied, we
The
signed an
onboarding
NDA.
packet.
Oh, okay. Well, then news to me. No, I'm sorry. We didn't have one. MIT doesn't have one, and so maybe we made that happen because there was a lot of
I
stress.
think
about
that came from.
the general counsel. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'd like to see that just to make sure, because I remember asking them for an NDA, and I just don't remember it being finalized. Okay. So just to revisit that for a moment here, just keep in mind we are in the public domain. All right. We talk about you. We talk about you hopefully in a positive way to help build momentum under the technology and under the progress that you're making as a startup, but we will not share anything that you haven't approved, okay? And so it is a safe environment for you as a startup, and you should feel that your mentors understand the difference, okay? But just be clear with them. If you don't know and they don't know, be clear about what you're willing to have in that public space, okay? All right, we talked about solicitation and abstaining from investments. All right, so to recap why you were chosen, this can be summarized as we think you have a really good novel concept, but we also think you're coachable. If we don't think you're coachable, this is not the program for you, right? This means that you're here to learn and develop, and you're going to take advice and counsel from people that have been vetted, okay? That's a really, really, really important, and you'll hear from a panel in a little while about that nuance, okay? There's a lot, even our mentors don't know, there's a lot that you don't know, and together we learn what the best decision is for you as you navigate this process, okay? You've heard that fail fast. It's because sometimes either the environment changes, things change about your technology, who knows, but you're going to constantly be taking in new information, and we are going to help you to take that information, process it in this program so that you're able to execute, okay? We also think you have a high probability of success. I think that every team in here has, can hit it out of the park, right? There's something about you something about the technology, something about what you're doing and why you're doing it now that makes it special. And I think you should remember that because this process doesn't sometimes feel special. It's hard. It's really, really, really hard. But you have a community, and a community that believes that you can do something great with what you're doing, okay? All right, now I'm going to turn it over to Priya. Priya, if you come join me up here. Priya is a faculty over in the College of Engineering. She has been, I would safe to say, all in since she started a year ago. She teaches an entrepreneurship class to engineers, if you can imagine, and she is now one of our director of mentors, and she's going to go through some of the roles and responsibilities. So put your hands together and welcome Priya.
That's very nice. After this, you won't be clapping, but we'll start, right? Okay, so I'm going to talk more about the team mentoring concept that we use here. And this is the mentor program from MIT, the same thing. And instead of having, first thing we'll talk about is why do you need to have a mentor? I mean, it's your product, right? You build this. You know all about it. Some of you have a little bit of business background. You already got your businessman in the story. So why do you need a mentor? Some of it is expertise. To make, just like Kim said, it takes a whole community to start a company, right? So we are your community, and you should treat us as that. So before we go, I would like to, probably all the mentors can either stand up or put your hands up so you know who are all the mentors in this room. See, we outnumber you. Right? And that's a good thing. So you have this big suite of expertise that you can count on and look at. We have done this before in different ways. Some of us more, some of us less, different ways, right? And one of the things you will notice about the mentor team here, I don't know how MIT works, but here is everyone is willing to help you. You go talk to us, we will be assigned to your team, and Tisha is going to talk about the process of how it's assigned. But even if we are not assigned, you can catch us, you can talk to us. We are here to help you, right? The second thing, contacts. When I went to business school, we used to say either you network or you not work, right? So this is a great way to get contacts. All of us have contacts. We can set you up with the right people if we think it's the right person for you. Sometimes, and one of the things we'll tell you, we are very honest. This is an honest mentor team. We will tell you, sometimes you may want to talk to somebody and we may feel that's not the right person. It has happened in the past, okay? So we are here to make you succeed. A sound advice that we give you, insight, right, from us, trust. That Kim talked about trust a little bit, that we are here. We are not going to share your trade secrets, your patent information, but we are your champions. And we will be talking about you in different places. We give examples of you as such good teams. The past year they will tell you about that, okay? And there is research that shows that a mentor program improves the results. Okay? So now the advantages to mentors. So why are we here? We outnumber you, right? So why should the mentors come here? First, we network with each other. We like to hang out with each other. You see, we enjoy each other's company. We all come here, we sit next to each other, we chit chat, right? So some of it is that we develop relationships with each other. And if we have one mentor, then that poor mentor is dead. So now we share the burden. We have 3 to 5 mentors on a team, so we can share the burden. Not only that, we bounce off ideas over with each other. There is a lot of discussion that the mentors do offline from you in order to help you. Okay? Then mentor colleagues, we are sounding boards for each other. And sometimes a mentor needs to leave. And if you're going to lose a mentor, it's best that you have 4 others or 3 others who knew what you were doing, right? Okay. Now what's the advantage of the venture? I don't want to look at the slide. I say it's just there. We talked about it. We talked when we started our careers. There was no system like this. We were sort of fish, not even fish. A little kid, you throw him in the water and trying to swim, right? That's how it was. But now you have this. And all of your ventures, those who have been here, we'll talk about in the panel shortly. All of those who have been here, you'll see that there's a big advantage to being coached by mentors. Some of you during your presentation, remember I asked you, what are you looking for from the Accelerator program? We need you to be coachable. We need you to be accepting of our mentoring. At the same time, please feel free to tell us when we are wrong or we think we are wrong. Right? This is an open relationship. And it is between mentors and mentees, and it is a peer relationship. Okay? So from there, we'll move on to the panel.
So we're a little ahead of time, so I'll go ahead and go and wait. We're waiting on one more panelist, so just because we're about 15 minutes early.
So Tanisha gets to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna be talking about what the meeting structure is. What did you do up here too?
I don't know.
There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the 90-minute meeting structure. So you guys know 90 minutes once a month. So the first thing we wanna make sure, before you even set your meeting, Carly in the back has a spreadsheet that's gonna go around, and you guys are gonna set your meeting time today. And that is gonna be given to the mentors. So whenever the mentors are choosing a team, they're gonna look at when your team meeting is, and that may or may not work for them, so that can be a deciding factor. Why do you think we're doing that? Just wanna ask. Why are you doing that? Oh, Priya, not Priya.
Kim, what's
Why do you think we have a set meeting once a month?
To make sure it happens.
To make sure it happens, but also accountability, yes. Because Kim also, I think, and Priya just mentioned it too, how important our mentors are to us. They're very precious to us. And we want to make sure that their time is used correctly. And I did this last cohort, you know, there was some switching of things that makes Carly crazy in the back. You don't want the wrath of Carly. So just every structure. So maybe it's the first Monday of the month at 4:30 and it never changes unless there's extreme circumstances. And then also we don't want to cancel just because you're not prepared or anything like that. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And then when you have your agenda set, we're going to ask you to set it not the morning of. Don't come with a piece of paper, notebook paper, with your agenda. Set it. Here's our panelist right there. Set it. Send it to your lead mentor. They can provide feedback for you. Send it to your mentors ahead of time, and also your virtual mentors. I can't tell you how many times a virtual mentor was out of the loop on the phone because they didn't receive the agenda. So be respectful of that and make sure that it's done. The first 20 minutes is the entrepreneur's time, so uninterrupted, without the mentor saying a word. We want you guys to really focus on this, because you guys stay awake at night, and we've already said that a million times today, is what keeps you up at night. So, this is your time to let them know what you need, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever's happening. Give them highlights, all of that. The mentors are there just to hear you out for 20 minutes. So you have the floor. Utilize this time. Be prepared. Don't just come in there and say, everything's going good, because we know it's not, because we'll hear about it later. So just make sure that you're utilizing that time wisely. The mentors will listen, and then when it comes to the group discussion for the next hour, they're going to really talk about those things that you highlighted. How can we help you? Here's some resources. Let's dive deep into it. We're also hoping that they're going to give you homework every time. So they're going to review that in the meeting minutes from the last meeting. Where'd you guys get on this? And so everything's moving forward. You never leave your meeting without next steps. So the final 10 minutes should be without the startup. So they leave, the mentors can debrief. They do this because behind the scenes, a lot of you guys don't know what takes place with the mentors behind the scenes. So once a month we have a mentor meeting, a monthly mentor meeting with all of the mentors and the lead mentors. And we go over, we give a highlight. So we give the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so the good, we want you guys to be sharing with the mentors the good so that they can share with us. We love that part. But they're also going to be sharing concerns. Not to bash you or not to be like, oh my gosh, this is a headache, but to utilize the force of mentors that we have. We're extremely fortunate to have 44, 45, 46, 46, we got two, like, oh, anybody else? Yeah, 46 mentors, we got some new mentors here today, and their expertise. So we're very fortunate. You guys, it's golden, right, what they know. And so we don't want to have a meeting and then not be able to pull different people for different areas. And so just because you're on a mentor team doesn't mean they can't float to another team to help somebody out or pull somebody else in from the outside. So if you're thinking about that, share that with them or else we'll never know. Okay, so then your first meeting, which is going to be happening soon, is a little different structure because you're brand new, is you're going to do your elevator pitch. You guys are going to do that a million times before the year's over, so you'll be really good at it. Give your elevator speech because there's going to be some mentors that maybe weren't here today. They're also going to critique you on that because you need to have that perfected as you're moving forward the program. You're going to introduce the founders of the company. So not even just like their name, where they're from, where they live, but why are they here? Why did you guys choose this? What are your aspirations? What do you want to do? This is your time to tell your mentors where your heart's coming from, because they're going to be along the ride for you. So you want them to be just as passionate about it as you are. And then your lead mentor should be selected by that point, right? Correct? Yeah, by the first meeting. So you should have your lead mentor already. So they're going to just really talk about what their role is. And we're going to talk about that in a minute, what their role actually is. And just how they're here to help keep everything together. And that lead mentor is going to need to be very passionate about what you do, because they're going to be your cheerleader along the way and getting all the other mentors going. So the first 10 to 20 minutes, the company again give their pitch. They're going to give suggestions, just like Mike did, something maybe you didn't think about, or they'll throw some, hey, have you thought about saying this? Again, aspirations, and then setting your going over the milestones and setting priorities for the next meeting. So again, the milestones go super fast. Homework, and they want to make sure that you're talking about everything you need to talk about to get those milestones done. All right, and then establish goals, both long-term and short-term goals that everybody is in agreement with. All right, so the next slide is just mentor responsibility. So again, I know Kim touched on it, Priya touched on it, why the mentors are here, one, to give back their expertise. They have a lot of it. It's very fun to get to know them and see everything that they've accomplished just right here in this room. So it's amazing. So their job again is to coach, to mentor, to listen. So they're not the CEOs. So they're not going to come in there and tell you what to do. They're going to listen and guide you. So they need to, as mentors, understand again their aspirations. Get on the same level with them. Get excited. Get passionate with them, so that you feel right alongside. You're going to be family by the end of this. It's a year, so. They're going to coach, they're going to set targets, they're going to give homework, and just next step goals and just making sure. They're also going to critique, okay? So there's some more than others that will critique constructive criticism. So we just ask as a mentor, please do that, because that's what you're there for, but do it respectfully, duh. But we want to, I mean, you guys are all adults, you know that, but it's going to get, I mean, you're living together for a year pretty much, so there's going to be disagreements, and there's going to be times where you guys want to go one path and somebody wants to go another path, and we've seen that a bunch, and the panel will talk about that, I'm sure. But just, we don't want you to disagree with everything. Give them a hard time. Let them know that they know the business world. You know, you guys know the business world more than they do at this point, so we're hoping that you guys take that and learn from it. Build personal relationships. So again, you're going to be family, but you're going to get in what you put in. So get out of what you put in. There we go. So make sure that you're doing that. So utilizing your time, get to know them. You don't have to only see them once a month. Take them out for coffee. If you just need a one-on-one conversation, and there's several of you guys that have done that, just to get to know them a little bit better. And then engage, assess, advise, and actively contribute. So that's what the mentors are here to do for you. All right, the startup's role, the mentor's role, so mutual goal setting. So do not let the mentors just set all the goals for you and you just take it, okay? You guys have to take a role in this as well. This is your company, and so the mentors will do that because they know and they want to help you, but you guys know exactly the path that you want to, so make sure that you're actively contributing to that. Again, meeting agendas, very, very important. I won't stress that enough. Please be prepared. These are professionals that you're working with. Meeting and mentor team evaluation. So you will get, we love surveys around here because that's how we track metrics. And metrics is awesome, ask Kim. She'll stand up here for an hour and tell you about how important they are. So for the sake of Carly, Weston, and myself, please fill out the surveys. Yes, they're very important. It might seem tedious to you, and it does to us too, but it's so important. When we go out there and sell, right? When we go out there and sell the Innovation Hub, and we have those numbers, and they're accurate, and they're powerful, we get funding, you know? And that's how it works. So they're so important, and some of those, the surveys are going to ask you questions as to, did you meet this month? When did you meet? Who showed up? Was it successful on a ranking 1 to 5? How successful was it? And we want real feedback, so we don't just say, oh, it was good. You know, that doesn't help us. We want highlights. We want who showed up, how much time did you spend with somebody outside. So David Miller, our Mentor of the Year back there from last year. Hey. Yeah. And we also had a mentor team of the year, so you guys were on there, Priya, Todd. So we got those numbers from the surveys. So we would not have a clue. I do my best. If I say mentor here, I track their hours, but it's up to you guys to tell us who it is. And not just, oh, they were here for 4 hours. What did they do for you? So let us know those things. Also in those surveys, we're gonna add a line for you guys to give us some highlights. So once a month as a staff, we feed Kim highlights, then she can turn around and feed to the president, to Lita and all of that. She wouldn't know on a daily basis some of the good things are happening, and I don't know some of the good things are happening to her unless we're communicating. So we need you guys to do that for us. So just keep that in mind, that's very important. And if you don't turn them in, Carly calls, so be ready for that. All right. All right, lead mentors role. So we have a few lead mentors in the room. The panel's going to talk a little bit about that as well. But their role is to corral everybody, make sure the mentors stay on track, make sure that everyone's doing their thing, because they're the liaison. They're the ones that are standing up on the monthly mentor meetings and giving that highlights. And so they're the ones that you really need to make sure understand what's going on and really build a relationship with them. They're going to also help if there's any kind of issues that arise that maybe the Innovation Hub staff needs to know about. We'll communicate with them, that kind of thing. If there's ever two mentors that aren't getting along and there's an issue that needs to be addressed, or a startup, an issue with one of the startups not coming, or they're the ones that they'll come to the principal's office and tell on you. So be ready for that. And they put a lot of work into it, and so we're really appreciative of them. Talk about that. So specialty mentors. So like I said, we have 46 mentors. We do have some that are specialty mentors, and we also, each of you guys know people in your network that we may or may not know, and so we utilize specialty mentors a lot throughout the year. For example, you're building a press kit. None of the mentors on your team probably know about it, but they know somebody who's an expert at it, so they call Lloyd, right? So, stuff like that. So they utilize their network to get the job done. And so the specialty mentor doesn't have to be on the team forever, can come in and come out at different times. And again, that is where our monthly mentor meetings as mentors are so important, because they'll stand up and say they're struggling at A, B, and C. Does anybody in the room can help with that? Yes, I know a guy. That kind of thing. So, very important. Let's see, what's that? Okay, I think that's about it. Let me make sure I touched all my points. I think so. Okay, any questions about the meetings? Awesome, I'm really excited. One thing I did want to say is, so I know we talked about it, but Priya Gill, so we have 3 director of mentors that are coming on, and the mentor meeting next, you guys will get a kind of deeper dive on who those are. But I wanted to make sure that you guys knew, because they're behind the scenes making things run for you guys, and so we're really proud of them. So Priya Gill is over team mentoring, so she's going to be over leading the lead mentors. She's leading the lead mentors, and making sure that they're good. And then we've got our social butterfly over here, recruiting. So Jean Evans is our recruitment director, so she's out bringing new mentors in, making sure people know what we're doing at the hub and that they don't want to miss it. And then Todd Milton over there, if you know him, this is perfect for him. He's coach, that's what we call him. So he's training and development. So we're gonna bring MIT in to make sure that our mentors are constantly process improvement. They're constantly being trained so they can help you best. And Todd's gonna help me ensure that everyone's trained. So, all right.
All right, so why don't we, can you hear me?
Sorry, do you want to turn on? Maybe it's not that loud.
Test. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and bring our panel up, and while you guys are getting situated, Priya's going to lead that panel discussion. 2 nuances that I wanted to just emphasize in Tasha's presentation. One is you've got the agenda that you have to create for every one of your mentor meetings, but you also have to summarize your notes. So don't forget that part. So I would have somebody on your team taking notes while you're in that meeting. Those have to be posted on Basecamp as well. Okay, so we look for those. You'll have 12 agendas for the year and 12 minutes to your notes. Yes, A.O.
Is there a format the agenda should follow?
No, not really.
There's a
Other than
sample
just
in your book.
yeah, there's a sample in your book, but other than your first 20 minutes is dedicated to you, that means nobody else talks. The CEO is the only one that talks. And you're basically saying what you want to say, what's important to cover during that meeting, and so on. So the second nuance is the lead mentor's role. The lead mentor, if you're a team, your lead mentor is going to be somebody that you can really communicate with. Communication style can be either a big gap or it can be something that works on your behalf. So when you're selecting a lead mentor, make sure that you are comfortable with that lead mentor, who they are, that you have a communication style that you establish, how they want to be communicated with. They're sort of your quasi-chairman of your board, right? They should be helping you set your agenda for that meeting, and they are going to be your champion. So if there's something that you need from the mentor network, they're going to represent that in the front of a room full of our 46 now mentors to say, oh yes, embryonics needs X, can anyone help us? That's what they're supposed to be doing in that last 10 minutes of the meeting, is to establish what is it that the network can help you with, and bring that to the next mentor meeting. Priya? Okay. Do you want me up there?